It's September 1943. Nazi Germany's behemoth battleship Tirpitz, sister ship to the Bismarck, lays moored in Norway's Alten Fjord. The battlecruisers Scharnhorst and Lützow lie nearby. At nearly 800 feet, Tirpitz is the most formidable of the trio. But despite her reputation, fuel shortages and the Germans' unwillingness to risk her in combat have relegated Tirpitz and her nearly 2,000 seamen to hiding in Norwegian backwaters to avoid detection by RAF reconnaissance aircraft. Referred to with derision as the Lonely Queen of the North, from October 1940 the RAF threw everything but the kitchen sink at Tirpitz, but the Stirling and Halifax heavy bombers, Albacore biplanes and manned chariot torpedoes did little more than annoy the steel Leviathan. Recently, things have been quiet, but that's all about to change. In Scotland, 1,000 miles away, 22-year-old Worcestershire-born Lieutenant Basil Charles Godfrey Place gazes across the waters of Loch Cairnborn, eagerly awaiting orders to commence Operation Source. It's a daring plan to send 6 X-craft or mini-subs to destroy Tirpitz, Scharnhorst and Lützow. Each tiny sub is crewed by just 4 submariners and displaces a paltry 30 tons. Powered by batteries when submerged, they're barely capable of 5.5 knots. The tiny cabins reek of sweat, battery acid and engine oil, and though they've been dive tested to 300 feet, crews fear descending past 100 may be suicidal. Yet despite their obvious shortcomings, each one is equipped with 2 detachable charges packed with nearly 2 tons of explosives that, if placed correctly, are capable of tearing gaping holes in the ship's armoured hulls. The plan is to tow the X-craft from Loch Cairnborn to a position off the west coast of the Shetland Islands, approximately 150 miles from Alten Fjord. Due to mechanical problems, only 3 craft remain, X5, 6 and 7, and they have but one target, the Tirpitz. Accompanied by Lieutenant Cameron and X6 on September the 21st, Place deftly steers X7 through a web of mines to a position off the Bratholm Islands, just as the fleeing Scharnhorst steams past at 16:30 hours. The following evening, after a tense day confined to their subs avoiding detection, the outer barrier around Tirpitz miraculously opens to allow a small German surface vessel to pass through, and seizing the opportunity, the sub's crews dive their craft and fall in behind it before it's reclosed. The X6 strikes rock and is spotted by lookouts on the Tirpitz, but Cameron and crew manage to put their charges beneath the ship. Realizing escape is impossible, they scuttle their sub, surrender, and are taken aboard the ship. Unseen in the commotion, Place and the crew of the X7 are stuck in torpedo nets. They have to surface. With extraordinary luck, the X7 somehow manages to escape the nets, and at nearly full speed it strikes the Tirpitz on her port side with a resounding clang, then slides smoothly under her keel and deposits a charge on the fjord's floor. Then X7 heads on its way astern and releases a second charge 200 feet to the aft, after which the X7 becomes ensnared yet again. Knowing that the X6's charge are due to explode any minute, Place, always the master of understatement, describes the affair as extremely annoying. A charge goes off, and the X7 is buffeted by the water. But in a stroke of luck, the blast frees them once again. But upon surfacing, Place opines that it's tiresome that the Tirpitz is still afloat. Moments later, at 1940 hours, the X7 is spotted attempting to escape and is fired upon with heavy anti-aircraft guns and depth charges. 2 of the 4 crewmen are killed, and again they're entangled, this time hopelessly so. Damned nets! They're everywhere, Place said. Their craft damaged and immobile, 2 crewmen dead, and staring into the eyes of angry machine-gun-wielding sailors looming above them. Place realizes the game is up, and he and the surviving sailor are taken aboard Tirpitz, joining Cameron and the crew of the X6. Initially, the Germans think that the daring British submarines are Norwegian partisans. They're interrogated intensely, but divulge no meaningful information. Still unaware that their mighty ship is in peril, 30 minutes later, 2 massive explosions lift Tirpitz nearly 3 feet from the water, severely damaging her hull, keel, engines, turrets, and propeller shafts. In the chaos, X5, the last remaining mini-sub, is detected 200 meters off Tirpitz and sunk in a hail of gunfire and depth charges, and neither sub nor the crew are ever seen again. Place and the other 5 sailors are eventually whisked away to the prison camp at Marlag Millag Nord, where they spend the rest of the war. But though their attack crippled the Tirpitz, repairs were carried out until April 1944, an epic undertaking that naval historians often refer to as one of the war's most noteworthy feats of naval engineering. Exhibiting heroism, fearlessness, and staunch determination in the fear of near certain death, even today, Place is considered the very embodiment of the submarine service's ideals. For his part in the Tirpitz attack, which a colleague described as entirely consistent with his character, he was awarded the Victoria Cross. Most of our viewers aren't yet subscribers. If that's you, please hit subscribe and help support the channel. Thank you.